Hello, all you hardcore boxing fans out there. How you doing? It's Russ here from Poker's Corner, the biggest gob in sport. We say the things on here that nobody dares say. We're just waiting for Andy from Aberdeen to log in. How you doing, the mumbling jock? Here we go. Was he pouring a large one? He pouring a large one.
No, another night. Another night. Is that better? That better. How you getting on, Russ?
Well, I'm all right. Cameron's been sending me emails today. He says, "Well, what was to do with this one here? So what is it?" So I forwarded it to you. Did you see it? You've got your little groupies, haven't you, texting me?
Try to put me in hospital and drink that kind of stuff.
I forgot the guy's name.
Firewater, eh? I'll maybe buy some.
I forgot the guy's name, Andy. We sent it here, but it's a nice when somebody does that. So basically, I didn't click on the link. I didn't have time. It's alcohol or something?
It's a nice looking bottle of vodka, some kind of craft vodka. I think it's something like 80-some% volume, or
80%.
Mega strong stuff. I'm sure I could find it here for you. It's 80, it's high 80s in percentage. I'll find it here.
What's petrol? Is that nice? Petrol? What's petrol in alcohol? That's got alcohol in it. Petrol, isn't
it? I'm not sure. I don't know.
That's what's whiskey? 40.
Whiskey's mainly about 40. My dad used to work in a distillery, and you could get special bottles. It was like called the Manager's Dram. It was called, and some of the bottles were like 60. I think 67 or 68 is the highest.
Well, your dad a drinker?
No, he doesn't drink. Oh. No, at all. He'll have a can of stout now and again. That's about it. House of Malt. Here we are. Just opening up. I don't know if it's made in Scotland, this stuff. It says House of Malt. It's maybe no. No, it's made in the Balkans, I think it is. It's 88%, it says. Slar's premium vodka, 88%. Yeah. Balkan 176-degree vodka. 44.95. That's pretty reasonable for something like that. Yeah, it's well, I think it says it's watered down as well. Where triple distilled for smoothness and coming in at a whopping 88%. This is one of the strongest vodkas on the market today. There's 13 health warnings on the label.
So this bloke who's originally send you it, Andy, obviously don't like you then, does he?
That's what I'm thinking. Does he want me in hospital or something? It's no big Joe Egan, is it? It's like
Big Joe Egan.
I don't think
one of Joe.
Originally distilled in eye water, 94% ABV, and then diluted with deionized water to make it palatable.
Well,
that'd be pretty wild. That you'd have to have small measures for that.
Yeah. I've just been reading comment section. I've just got. You know what? We're up at 5 this morning. I was up there at 5:30, and it's 9 now. I've been in an hour.
9.
I'm knackered. Yeah. Just had a quick look at comment section. There's a Peter De Freitas, used to be Nigel Benn's manager. He's left a comment. He's been on channel, Peter. He's welcome on it.
I've seen it. He's a good guy, isn't he? Remember him?
Listen, when I went to last time I was in Essex, or at the time before that, I went out for a meal with him actually. Me, him, and Mickey Theo, and a kid called Noel who runs that Mickey's gym in Essex. We went out for a meal, and you know what? He's a lovely fella actually. Really, really, really nice guy. And I don't know if you remember when Spencer Fearon, aka Big Malt, he sent me a contract, didn't he? And there were all these clauses in the contract. It was a £20,000 offer. So, and there were all these clauses. They must have thought that I'd never seen a boxing contract before. in my life. Like, I only worked for Dennis for 6 years.
Yeah.
That's all you do. You look through contracts and you're looking for ways to get an edge and stuff like that. And I were obsessed by stuff like that. But I wanted Pete, the Freitas was second opinion, and there was stuff that I missed in it, and that a couple of people I showed it missed, but he picked up on them straight away. So Spencer Fearon, pop, pop, bang, you missed out on that one, didn't you? Basically, the gist of it were, and Rico went through it as well. If I mentioned Big Malk on social media, or his pal, Tunde Ajayi, lions in the camp,
Yeah.
if I mentioned them, dream it, believe it, become it, I would have had to pay them X amount and all that, and then I got the gist of it. They could send bailiffs and all this kind of thing and all. This is what these contracts, people in boxing sign them. If you don't believe me, go speak to Terry Harper. They sign these contracts and you're not going anywhere once you've signed them. You ever run them down and have an handshake. All right, now, so that was that. But listen, he was never going to fight me. But it's like Julian said, if I fought Spencer Fearon, he smashed me to bits in the boxing ring. But I'm one of them people, I'm not really bothered having a battle like that. But I wanted to have him in a boxing ring and then have one out of boxing ring. So, but it don't matter anyway now. It's all done now. Good luck to him with his double glazing glasses. I mean, people keep sending me these videos. There's one lately. He's so torn, bless him. Big Malk, I'm going to say a prayer for you tonight because you sat there and you've got Lennoxes in one hand and Big Meech's in other, and you don't know what to do. You're chewing them both off at the same time because they're both your pals. I know, man. He can't sleep at night because he's Piggy in the middle. Like Big Meech and Lennox are bothered about him. Oh, get over yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you think I were a bit harsh on Penfold?
Not really, no. Plus he's shouting out about Joe Gallagher. Joe Gallagher's, he couldn't lace Joe Gallagher's boots, could he?
No, not really. No.
So, nah, he was
Don't know
being a
why
bit,
he did that. I mean, a couple of people in industry, I'm not going to say, but a couple of people in industry, like my phone's been red hot today. I've either got outdone because of obviously the video I put out about Joe, and I kept thinking, should I do a video or shouldn't I do? But the general gist of it is that I got the impression that he wasn't really that bothered about doing something, but he'd been pushed into it. So I wonder who could have pushed him into it. So I'm not going to hang him out just to drive because I had a few texts tonight and I think he's regretting it, but somebody's obviously been gassing him up and he's gone and done it. And now, well, you know what I'm like. I'm a ton of information, and do you know what, mate? If I'm pushed into a corner or I see something I don't like, mate, that's it. I meet things head on. I've never been. I'm pretty fearless. I have been since I was a small boy. But I didn't like what he did. And do you know what? It ain't the first time. And it seems to me whenever there's anything with Joe, I tend to think that they all go after him, don't they? All the YouTubers and all the little clique, because it's become a little clique, isn't it? The 5 kilometer Eddie Hill's little running club. It's one of them. We've seen, haven't we? Do you know what I mean? But this little running club, what they forget is, when once Eddie Hills has gone, and he'll not always be around Eddie because his ego's that big. What are they going to do? Where are they going to go then? What are they going to do? Because they're going to be knackered in boxing, aren't they? Because already people are saying, do you know what? It's becoming too cliquey, these media people. Because anybody can go down to Curry's, can't they, and get a camera.
yeah.
Now, you can get a camera. There's better boxing people than these. I'm a better boxing person than all them. I know that. I've got wrong temperament to do what they do. And there's a lot of better boxing people than me, right, who've got cameras. And I see some of these kids with these small YouTube channels, and I look at them and I think, he's really good. But they're not getting access because they're prim and proper and they're not cunning. You've got to be cunning and you've got to have a bit of brass neck on you to do what they do. Look, we all know what Coogan is, don't we? He'll sell his soul, won't he? He's not respected amongst his peers, the people that do the same job as him. They're not respected. People will tell them they're family and they've known you years and this and that because they want to get the fighters out there. But these people don't respect these people. They do not respect them at all. They'll tell them to the face they will. This is why I have a problem with certain people. I say, why are you doing interviews with these when you're telling me this and then you're going to do an interview with them? Well, we've got to get our fighters out there. So this is what you're up against. But they're not respected. They're not boxing people. Look, the media guys now, they're dying a death, aren't they? Your Colin Harts, your Thomas Hausers, Jeff Powell, he's knocking on a bit now. You know, your Pat Sheenans, you know, your old school guys. Do you know what I mean? What's going to happen when they're gone? Is this what we're going to be left with? Lickers who are easily bought? Or do you want to come to Arsenal game at weekend? Everybody can go in Arsenal game in Frank Warren's box, can't they? What is all that about? So how are they going to put it on Frank when it comes to Monday morning at a presser after they've been at, it's not Highbury, whatever, Emirates, after they've been at the Emirates at the weekend? They can't, can they? Bricktop's not bribing them, is he? He's just been just been showing a bit of hospitality to them. But they're not gonna feel like they want to put it on him on a Monday, are they? And there's a line you don't cross. So they're not boxing journalists. You see, people can say, "Oh, you're jealous of this and that." But Andy, I'm spinning enough plates at the moment to probably. I've got too much on to be running up and down country like them.
Yeah.
I have a problem with the questioning. I don't have a problem with going up and down country in the cars or on trains or wherever because it's a slog. That's an hard slog, mate, what they do. But when they get them in a corner and they get them on hook, they shit the pants. Because then they think, hang on a minute, I'm going out with these tonight for a pizza. So I can hardly put it on them about this. We can hardly say to Eddie Hills, Eddie, why are you buying Sky Nicholson world title belts? They're not going to say that and then put it out there. Eddie will shut them straight down, won't he? We know what goes on, don't we? They all get a free ticket, don't they, on aeroplane, free hotel. We know what's going on, don't we? But it's out of control now.
It's going mad, eh? I even seen Colin Hart. Was it the other day that I seen him saying about Big Meech being protected, and he can't get near him, ask him the questions you want to ask him. So even he's frustrated. Colin Hart's frustrated that he can't get asked the questions he wants to ask. But I think once sorry,
saying it years, Andy.
And I think when Eddie Hills goes, the jogging club will be running about the street like headless chickens looking for Eddie. Where's he gone? Where's he gone? They'll just be running about aimlessly. It'll just be a.
Well, IFL are already banned, aren't they, from Gallagher's gym? IFL, and I'm hearing there's another one going to be on its way now. So that's 2, isn't it? So there's only really 7 that have got access. So, and that's not the only gym because people are sick to death of it now. Sick to death of it. It's becoming a little club. It's a little club, and what they're doing, they're influencing generations of boxing fans, young kids coming up. It's utter madness. And this is why we're in this state. And it's not going to happen on my watch. Well, it is happening, isn't it? Look, I'm pissing in an hurricane. I'm not asking people to join me and it's going to be a revolution. I don't care. I care for what I think. I look in my mirror in the morning. Right, before I leave here and I set about people in the morning, I'm a pretty driven person in anything I do. But there's only so far I can take this. Now, I'm 7 years doing this in this November. And I think it's worse now than when I first started. It's worse now than 9 years ago when I first started with Dennis. And when I first started with Dennis, I was like, God, I've got some problems here, you, Dennis. We'll turn it round. He's in a worse position now than ever. I told him in 2015, you need to go sign 6 kids. Terry Chappendama sent me a list. I see there's Terry here. And it was detailed who were available. He looked at it, he went, oh, he's from that end of the country, he's from that end of the country, he's from that end of the country. And I went, well, you build them up. You build them up, Dennis. That's what you do. You don't have to have them in Sheffield. You build them up.
Yeah.
But he didn't listen, did he? And that, what look where he is now. Chasing about with white collars, Perry Howe and Anna Rankin and all that. What is all that? Tommy Frank. What's happened to him? We had Clinton Woods, David A, Jamie McDonnell. Do you know Ricky Hatton? You see where I'm coming from? World champions, 8, 9 world champions. But point I want to make is, where is he going now, Big Ron? He's a multi-millionaire, but where's he going? He's dead and buried in the boxing. He's dead and buried in the boxing. He's finished.
Yeah.
Can't tell him. He won't have it. He knows he's finished.
Fading away, isn't it? So.
He's done.
It's
What
just
about the rest of them? What's Steffi Bull putting on? What's he doing? They're finished. They're finished at that level. And what's happening now? All of them are going to be finished soon. Dean White had a good, didn't he? You have to give him respect. I give him a bit of stick on here because I mean that's not even his name, is it, for starters? But who's going to tell him? A big 6'7", 23 stoner. Who's going to tell him? See where I'm coming from? When they're coming out with this knackers, like he tried to save 400 people on an aeroplane. A man tried to open a door on an aeroplane 30,000 foot up. You remember the story, don't you? And then they let him go on Sky and tell the story, Adam Smith, Bean. But nobody were going to pull him because there's a big giant of a man, innit? Strutting
they tell him
around
over the phone.
like Wesley fucking Snipes. Passenger 57, wasn't it? These are the people that gate crash into boxing, and it's allowed to happen. But he had a good, didn't he? He had a go at promoting. Where's he now? Because people like that are going to be dead, aren't they? We want the sport now where it's heading. But he's had a go. So what's the answer, Andy? What is the answer?
I don't know. It's just I know the Saudi thing's no helping, is it? It's dragging everything out. It's sucking all the life out of like the UK or probably America as well, in some respects. But it's good in the respect we'll get to see some of the fights we might not have seen due to all the politics and wrangling about stuff. But if you or I want to go, I'm not going to Saudi, and I don't suppose you will either.
I don't want to go there, mate. With my
No.
mouth, I might come back with one arm. They'll be calling me Flipper. You know what I mean?
No, I've no desire to go there to watch boxing there, because I mean the atmosphere doesn't look great either, does it? I've always said if I had some money I'd go to Vegas and watch a big fight, but or Madison Square Garden probably. I'd probably prefer that, just due to the history of the place, But
Just give a shout out to somebody, Billy Boxing 2.0 at Billy Boxing or something, whatever. So I'll give a shout out. He likes Porky's Corner. Go on, Billy lad, pop pop bang. But yeah, go on, Andy. You were saying.
yeah, if I want to go somewhere special to watch a boxing match, it's probably Madison Square Garden now, just with the history.
I don't know, mate, what the answer is, but something's got to change. I mean, let's have it right. This. I mean, we're all losing our minds over this Saudi stuff, aren't we? Anthony Joshua ain't got a belt, has he? Right? Ngannou's had one fight as a pro, and he lost it. Yeah, in record books. Yeah. We're losing our minds over that fight because of the hype around it and all these YouTube platforms who are pushing it out there. I've got people on the industrial estate where my studio is saying to me they can't wait for Joshua and Ngannou to see who's the best fighter in the world. They're out of their minds. And you know what? I don't even answer now. I don't answer. I go into a trance because I can't get any words out. I can't even get words out to answer these goonies. And what's the other fight? Zhang and Parker. Right, so Zhang and Parker, Joshua and Ngannou. Is there a belt between them four? Yes or no?
No. There might be a WBO, what do they call it again? Temporary belt or whatever that is.
Interim.
Interim.
Andy,
yeah, Zhang's got that, isn't he? He got that off of Joyce.
Andy, you're mumbling, mate. You know when I said a belt, you know I meant the world title, so stop.
A real belt, that. There's no real belt.
You jock. I mean, you freako.
That's a good fight, though, Zhang Parker, I think that's
yeah,
a
we've
decent
got a bloke there, 41 against the Stinkinator. Let's lose our minds over it. Well, that's what we're up against, isn't it, now? Everybody's losing them. These are just run-of-the-mill fights that we would normally be getting anyway. But because they're over there, they're getting mega dough. They're hyped up as like super fights. And because we've had such little action, we're all losing our minds. Everybody's missing the point here. And we look at this lunatic on here on my thumbnail here. Big Joe Egan's even trying to get in on act. A 3-1 pro, Jan Roly-Poly. What is going on there? He thinks because John Fury's said to him, here, Joe, get something out there, call me out. I need to test water in Saudi. I think I've been outed out of the circle, pop, pop, bang. That's what's gone on. And nobody's interested in it. Nobody's interested in their waffle. Couldn't fight in his prime. Oh my God. When I was 17, right? When I was 17, he's a bigger bloke than me, innit? I would have torn him apart at 17 years of age. Did you see him on there? He was blowing out of his arse after 3.5 minutes. Blowing out
Yeah.
in his prime. In his prime, mate. Mr. Movie Star. We've got here, Mr. Movie Star, right? Mr. Movie Star. I can't listen. People buy into nobodies. They buy into it now. They surround themselves with right people. They're nobodies, right? Who is he and John Fury as regards fighting men? What are they as fighting men? They're not even white collar. White collar level, if that, innit? It's white collar level. But they're hyped up by all these gimps as like terrifying men. They're not. They're not, mate. One of them were roaring it Doc. You've seen it on my most popular video, the article. John Fury were crying in the dock when that judge said, 10 year, take him down. He got it reduced to a 9, didn't he? And did 4.5 and got out. That's it. He's not Papillon. Do you know what I mean? They're not roadman killers. It's in the minds. It's in their minds. They are frauds in boxing, masquerading as roadman killers and warriors. It's rubbish. But who's going to tell them? Because the big bullies. Isn't that right, Joe Egan? You're a big bully, you. We've got a script here that's about a week off being finished. I'll see you soon if you don't come on Zoom, lad. Pop, pop, bang. Big bullies, that's what they are, Andy. But nobody's allowed to say out to them because they've created this myth. What they do, they create a myth and then it becomes legend. It's
Fantasy
stolen
stuff.
valor, Andy. It's stolen valor. Can't stand stolen valor. I had over 10 years of it in Nick. Every pad mate I had got a Range Rover on drive at home and a Model Y. They couldn't even get stamps sent in. Stolen valor, mate. That's what this is. People
And
fall, not porky.
fighting at their age, they're likely to have a heart attack as well. It's not a good idea, is it?
Eyes of a pair of them, man. Ponsers. The Ponsers. That's what they are. Ponsers. You've seen them. You've seen, look at Mike Tyson on that picture. You don't know whether he's coming or going. Did you see that clip that they put on Sean Atwood's channel? It's 80 seconds, right? He's going on about something that Michael Franzese, a grass who were in Nick, right? Who dealt his way out like Sammy the Bull Gravano, right? So they've got this grass talking to Joe Egan or speaking on his behalf to Mike Tyson, and Mike Tyson's gone, well, oh, Joe never told me that because obviously he's been over to the UK and met Joe. Look, they get into people's minds, don't they? Mike Tyson's an affable guy. If somebody's going to give him thousands for coming over here talking a load of shit at some evening with, he's not bothered. He's going to say, oh, isn't he? He'll go to bed with a snake. We all saw what he was like when he was bankrupt. He was brassing himself off on stage, coming out with all sorts of nonsense. A rapist, for God's sake. A rapist. A convicted rapist, Andy. And we've got people loading them up as like these like pillars of community, rapists. Bad an old couple. He's a rapist. Look at that with Teddy Atlas's niece, 11-year-old. He's a big 15-year-old. Did you see him at 15? He looked. Did you see him? Have you seen he looked like a man, didn't he? People buy into this knackers. It's knackers, mate. Absolutely. Would you leave him babysitting your daughter him?
No, not a chance.
There you go. That's what I say. Would you let him babysit your teenage daughter? Well, there you go. But these people, they need that reflected glory. They need that fix. That's what it is. And they buy into it. They buy into it, mate. It's madness. Social media madness. They're a disease. And pork is the cure. Come see me, Joe. You know what I mean? Can I just say something, right? Do you know these TV detector vans that they do for TV license, yeah? Let me just say this, right? Because I had a bit of some words today with this old lass who I've known years. I said, listen, love, they don't exist. Remember, my family used to work for them. They don't exist. They knock on your door. That's for your TV license. The detector vans, nobody's ever seen one. There's only one in the world, and it's that BBC advert from the 70s. They don't exist. if somebody knocks on your door, what member of my family used to do TV licensing? You knock on your door, you say 7 words, and they go away and they don't come back again. Am I obliged to talk to you? They say no, and then you shut your door. Do not let them get 1 foot in your door after they said, "Have you got a TV license?" Don't stand at the door like my ex did and went, let me just check with Russell. Turned her back, foot rent door, there you go, 140 odd quid. That was a few years ago. That's why I got rid of her. The point I want to make is don't let them in your house. Keep them at the door and say, "Am I obliged to talk to you?" And they go, no. And you go, "Well, gone." That's
Yeah,
it. I had to
I
get
know.
that anyway because she done me head in, this old lass on where I live, near where I live, going, "I said, what are you doing? You've been in this queue ages. How much longer are you going to be?" "Oh, I'm sorting my TV license." I said, "You what? You buying a TV?" I said, "Oh my God, she done me head in. She was in queue ages." Anyway, I just want to get a point across because I know you're listening, love.
I seen a thing on so it must be on YouTube. It was a guy. He actually get the guy who came to his door. He actually beat him up,
Yeah, well, they
because
want beating up, don't they, them sort of people? They want bashing.
he put him away. Like, must have told him where to go at the door, eh? He's sitting in his living room, and the guy's looking in his window, eh? You know, looking in the living room window or something. So he wouldn't say about him. Said he thought he was trying to break in, and got away with it. So,
Yeah. You don't want them sort. What sort of person takes a job like that? It's like a traffic warden. Do you know what I mean? That's why traffic wardens are single, isn't it? Who want to live with a traffic warden? See that they can't interact with anybody, can they? It's like a copper, isn't it? Coppers only go with the coppers. It's like bodybuilders. They only sleep with the bodybuilders, don't they? Do you know what I
that's
mean?
a
The different people, aren't they? Different breeds.
different culture, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Uh, so Joe G's out in Saudi with Scott Quigg, isn't he? I think Scott trains the one of Turkey's sons, is it, or some prince's son out there.
Right.
Apartment out there, Scott. He's doing all right, and Joe G's out there. He's running that gym for Turkey that's called it's called Mike Tyson Gym, isn't it? Sheesh, couldn't make it up, could you? Uh, Sonny Edwards wants Bam Bam Rodriguez. I admire that because there's nowhere else for him to go, is there, if he don't fight him?
Yeah, good on him, eh? Good on him for taking that
Yeah.
again.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
called him out. Well done, Sonny Edwards. I'm team Sonny Edwards now for calling him out, for calling Bam Bam Rodriguez out. Let's see if it happens. So good on you. Let's see if it happens. Or is it lip service? We'll see, won't we? What do you think?
See if he can regroup and get his title back, eh? Come
Well,
up
that's
with a
what you
good
do
game.
when you're a champion, isn't it? When Frotch lost to Ward, he said, "I want him at UK." Ward didn't
Mm.
want to come to UK because he didn't have a passport, unless you're paying him 50 grand to commentate on ITV in a first class ticket, $50,000.
Then he
Right?
finds his passport.
Then he found his passport and took 50 bags off Richard Pox and pop bang. Uh, Big Malk and Lennox and AJ, we spoke about that. What do you think Lennox's beef with AJ? Do you think it's because he's from a different era? Or what? Or do you think it's because Joshua's built up as this killer when really his CV's only a third? It's not even as like it's about 30% as good as Lennox, isn't it? Really, if you count the wins over world champions as 5, Lennox is as 14, isn't it?
I seem to remember Lennox try to give him some advice or like constructive criticism a number of
Yeah.
years back, and then AJ or Big Meech called Lennox a clown, eh? I thought, what?
What he called Lennox Lewis a clown?
Lennox was a clown, eh? And I'm like, oh my
Lennox
God.
Lewis's CV, you could probably have a 4-way coin: Ali, Joe Lewis, Larry Holmes, and Larry Holmes and Lennox Lewis. That's a 4-sided coin.
Yeah.
Well, basically it's everybody's top 4, isn't it? It is,
I
isn't
think
it?
he's underappreciated, Lennox Lewis, in a lot of ways. Or he was at the time, eh, when he was
Well,
still
as
fighting.
the years go by, I think Lennox Lewis's CV gets better the more you look at people like Anthony Joshua's and Tyson Fury's, don't you?
Yeah, and he was fighting all the up and coming guys. He was fighting like Shannon Briggs and David Tua, Zelshko Maverick. He was fighting anybody that was up and coming. He was taking them on. He was taking all comers on, wasn't
They put him in with Razor Ruddock and Lennox Lewis were underdog.
he? Yeah, that's
I
right.
remember that one when I was a kid.
Took him out in 2 rounds, didn't
Took him out in 2 rounds, yeah.
he? Mm.
Uh, Crusher Ben, he called out Aney, Crawford, Eubank, Josh Taylor, but he's fighting Peter Dobson.
The ballroom. Ballroom blitz.
It's that's like me going and looking at a Maserati in it at JCT 600 Sheffield. So, that's a nice Maserati. Let me take it for a spin. You know what, mate? I'm going to have that Monday over there, blue with a red wing.
So
Hey,
basically, Crusher Ben's like the tire kicker of boxing, isn't he?
listen, mate. It's pure lip service, isn't it? He's talking up in lights, and he's basically fighting in a ballroom against a guy who nobody's heard of, and he's well, I've been told he's English level, but I've only heard that, so I hadn't even looked at his fights, but I've only heard that off somebody. So look, I've checked him out. He's English level, and I trust this guy who told me that. So Crusher Ben, you wouldn't say he's much better than English level, would you? Let's say if he's British level. Yeah, we
He's
got a
kind of
British
dodgy.
title.
No, he swerved all the British guys, isn't he?
What?
He swerved all the British title guys, isn't he? Or the people about that level, isn't he? Like David Abernation and anybody else that's at that
Chris
level. He's
Conger. Yeah. What about Josh Kelly? He swerved him.
them, man.
The other
Yeah.
one, what's it called? Echo and the Bunnyman, swerved him, didn't he? Echo a Cosman, I call him Echo and the Bunnyman.
He'll get turned inside out if he fights any of the guys.
You what?
He'll get turned inside out if he fights any of the guys. He's even
Crook.
shouting at Josh Taylor when he was trying to call him out, wasn't he?
Listen, I'm just going to tell it straight, right? Josh Taylor, Crawford, Aney, Eubank, light Ben up the Crushinator. And I'll be honest, right? When does he fight? 3rd of Feb. I hope you lose, Crusher Ben. I know you're listening. I hope you lose. I hope you get ice. But I'm going to be honest. I'm not like all them other people in boxing industry who are going to say, well, we want Crusher to win because it's Brit. No, I want you to get knocked out. I want you to get knocked out. I'm not like all these others who are lickers, who have got the fighters on Matchroom and DAZN shows and the manage and train fighters, blah, blah, blah. They want you to get beat. They want you to get beat. All these around here who train and manage fighters, they want you to get beat, but then I see them on social media and they're wishing him all the best and all that nonsense. What? What?
People
Give me
need to
a
be more
favour.
honest, don't they?
Huh?
The people need to be more honest.
Yeah, I hope he gets knocked out because he's been a pain in the arse for nearly 2 years now with all his lies and all the knackers that he's chattered. That's just how I feel.
Maybe Eddie Hills is one I'm getting knocked out, and then that's him off it. That's him away for him as
The
well.
Billericay Iceman 6-0. Hey, 4 by way of, but only footage we've got, you know the rest. Spotty Frank. Hey, listen, I'm not being funny. I watched that overnight, you know, no bored. Spotty took some. Oh, I tell you what, I won't like a dig off Eddie Hills, you know. He's got a dig on him, hasn't he?
He's a big guy, isn't he?
He's a big lump, but Eddie, I'd take you down to the floor, kid. Have a better chance on the floor with you, lad. Wrap you up. But I'm being honest here, mate. He's all right hand, Eddie, but he were putting some proper mustard into them shots on Spotty. And I got the impression that Spotty were letting him hit him on purpose. What is all that about?
That's
Spotty,
it.
what were you doing? Spotty Frank.
Think Spotty got paid to make him look good.
Hey.
Maybe.
Hey, somebody just sent me a text. Let me just read it out. Big Joe Egan. Big announcement soon. And there's a picture of a camera, a film camera, and some eyes. Go on, Joe. Get it out there. Get that footage out there, Joe. Are you sparring Mike Tyson? That's all we want to see. We want to see the footage of you and Iron Mike. Now, Tim Witherspoon said he spoke to Kevin Rooney and you've never sparred him. So, get that footage out and prove me and Tim Witherspoon wrong. All right, that's all we want to see, Joe. We don't want to hear Fantasy Island stories. We want to see the sparring footage. I don't want to read anybody coming out saying, yeah, he definitely sparred him. I were there. That's not good enough for me. You don't wash in my world, Porky's world, because I'm crackers. I want to see footage of you and Iron Mike. All right, there's footage of him and Glenn McCrory, but
I was
not
just
of
going to
you
say that.
and Iron Mike, eh?
I'm sure it was Glenn McCrory he said was the toughest white guy, is it no? Does that no
No, that's
sticks
what Rooney said, right? But now it's been turned into Joe. Maybe Mike's had that much weed and coke and crack over years and drink that
he thinks
he
Joe's Glenn McCrory.
McCrory. That's what Kevin Rooney said. You let cat out of bag now. Kevin Rooney said Glenn McCrory were a good sparring partner for Mike Tyson. When Glenn first went out there, it's a true story, he lost his kit. He didn't have no kit when he went out there, so he had to go down to a market in New York and buy some near Gleason's. Yeah. He went down to a market and he bought some cheap plimsolls and all that. That's a true story. That's a true story. But Glenn McCrory were out there sparring him. I don't remember anybody mentioning Big Joe Egan. Joe's not really thought about it, has he, really, before he started telling whoppers? But it's not to fathom out, is it? Because if you just pull 6 or 7 videos of him chatting nonsense about it, he ties his head in knots. Joe, there's no deals from the prosecution at all, Joe. It's straight to jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect 200. You've been found guilty of fraud in the High Court. And Porky's the judge. Jesus. You know what I mean? Unbelievable. What? Do you want to go on to part 2, kid?
Well, do. Give me 5 minutes.
Give me 5 minutes. Yeah, I knew you were going to say that. I'll give you 5 minutes. I just need to go drain the main vein. 5.